Hello, my amazing friends. I'm so thrilled you're here with me today in our cozy little space where we talk about living well, feeling great, and making every day count. Picture me as your friendly doctor, sitting across from you with a warm cup of coffee, ready to share some heartfelt advice. Today, we're diving into something I wish I could tell every single patient. 5 life-changing habits to stay healthy and happy in your golden years. I've been in medicine for years, and I've seen what really works, not just from studies, but from real people who've turned their lives around. Let me tell you about Mrs. Clara, a 68-year-old retiree from Seattle who came to my clinic a couple years ago. She was worn out, her knees ached, and she felt like her best days were behind her. She used to love tending her rose garden, but she could barely bend down to prune the bushes. We worked together on some simple changes, and now she's out there planting flowers, playing with her grandkids, and feeling better than she did in her 50s. That's what these habits can do, and I'm excited to share them with you. If this resonates, hit that subscribe button, tap the bell, and share this with someone you care about. It might be the nudge they need to thrive. Let's get started. Let's kick things off with moving your body every day, even if it's just a little. I'll never forget Mr. Robert, a 72-year-old from Chicago who walked into my office a few years back. He was a former construction worker, tough as nails, but heart disease and stiff joints had him stuck in his recliner. He told me about his grandson, Tommy, who loved playing catch in the backyard. Robert's eyes got misty as he described how they'd toss a baseball under the summer sun, laughing until the stars came out. But his body couldn't keep up anymore, and it broke his heart. We sat down for a long chat, and I told him he didn't need to run marathons or lift weights. Just start small. He began with 15-minute walks around his neighborhood, listening to classic rock tunes to keep it fun. He'd wave at neighbors, feel the breeze, and slowly his energy started coming back. Over time, he added some gentle stretches and joined a Tai Chi class at the local community center. A year later, he came back to my office with a huge grin, telling me he was out there playing catch with Tommy again, feeling like a kid himself. The American Heart Association says 150 minutes of moderate activity a week, like brisk walking, can cut your risk of heart disease by 30%. Moving keeps your joints flexible, your heart strong, and your mood lifted. My advice is to find something you enjoy, whether it's strolling with your dog, dancing to your favorite Motown hits, or following a chair yoga video online. Start with 10 minutes a day and build from there. If you got health concerns, check with your doctor first. You're not training for the Olympics. You're giving your body the care it needs to enjoy the things you love. Next up, let's talk about eating to feel good, not just to fill up. I had a patient, Mrs. Susan, a 65-year-old from San Diego, who was struggling with high blood pressure and constant fatigue. She loved her fast food burgers and sodas, but they were dragging her down. She came to me with a dream of taking a road trip with her husband to see the Grand Canyon. She'd always want to stand on the rim, feel the vastness, and snap photos with him, but she felt too sluggish to even plan it. We sat down, and she shared memories of her childhood, how her mom used to make colorful salads with fresh tomatoes and cucumbers from their garden. That memory lit her up, so we built on it. I told her she didn't have to give up her burgers entirely. Just add more color to her plate, like those salads she loved. She started tossing in bright veggies, fruits, and lean proteins like grilled chicken or salmon. She swapped her daily soda for sparkling water with a splash of lemon and kept her burgers to once a week. Within 6 months, her blood pressure was down, and she had the energy to book that Grand Canyon trip. She sent me a postcard, beaming in front of the canyon with her husband, looking radiant. The National Institute of Health says a diet rich in whole foods, like veggies, whole grains, and fish, can lower your risk of diabetes and heart disease by up to 25%. It's about balance, not deprivation. Try adding one new veggie to your dinner this week, maybe roasted zucchini or a crisp salad. Swap one processed snack for something fresh, like an orange or a handful of almonds. If you're not sure where to start, keep a food diary for a few days to see what's working and what's not. Eating well is like fueling a car. You want the good stuff to keep your engine running smoothly. Now, let's talk about sleep, because it's a game changer for your health and happiness. I'll always remember Mr. George, a 70-year-old from Boston, who came to me feeling irritable and foggy. He was a retired accountant, used to burning the midnight oil, but now he was tossing and turning, barely getting 5 hours a night. He told me about his morning coffee chats with his wife, where they plan their day, reminisce about their kids' childhood, and laugh over old memories. Lack of sleep was stealing that joy, and he missed those moments dearly. We dug into his habits, and he admitted to late-night TV binges and a bedroom cluttered with work papers. I suggested a few tweaks to make sleep a priority. He started winding down with a book instead of screen, kept his bedroom cool and dark, and set a consistent bedtime. He even tried a warm chamomile tea before bed, something his mom used to make when he was a kid. Within weeks, he was sleeping 7 hours, waking up refreshed, and enjoying those coffee chats again. The National Sleep Foundation says adults over 60 need 7 to 9 hours of sleep to keep their brains sharp and immune system strong. Poor sleep raises your risk of everything from depression to heart disease. My advice is to create a bedtime routine that feels like a treat. Dim the lights an hour before bed, skip the phone, and maybe read a novel or listen to soft music. Keep your bedroom for sleep and relaxation only. No work or stress allowed. If you're struggling, talk to your doctor. Sometimes small changes or a check for issues like sleep apnea can make a big difference. Good sleep is like a reset button for your body and mind. Another habit that's so close to my heart is staying connected with the people who matter. I had a patient, Mrs. Diane, a 67-year-old from Denver, who came to me feeling lonely and down. She'd lost her husband a few years earlier, and her kids were busy with their own lives. She told me about her old book club, where she'd spend hours debating novels with friends over wine and cheese. Those nights used to make her feel so alive, but she let those connections slip away. Loneliness was hitting her hard. Her blood pressure was up, and she felt unmotivated. We talked about how relationships are like medicine for the soul. She decided to reach out to her old book club friends and start a new group. She also joined a local walking club, where she met people who became like family. A year later, she was hosting book nights again, laughing and feeling connected. Research from the CDC shows that social isolation increases your risk of dementia and heart disease by nearly 50%, while strong connections boost your mood and longevity. My advice is to nurture your relationships like a garden. Call a friend or family member this week, even if it's just to say hi. Join a group that sparks your interest, like a book club, gardening class, or volunteer gig. If you're shy, start small, maybe invite a neighbor for coffee. Connection isn't just nice, it's essential for a happy, healthy life. Finally, let's talk about finding purpose, because it's what keeps you going. I'll never forget Mrs. Patricia, a 69-year-old from Austin, who came to my office feeling lost after retiring from teaching. She'd spent decades shaping young minds, but without that role, she felt like she was drifting. She told me about a student who'd written her a letter years ago, thanking her for inspiring him to become a writer. That letter was tucked away in a drawer, but it reminded her how much she loved helping others. I encouraged her to find a new way to share her gifts. She started volunteering at a local library, reading to kids and helping with writing workshops. It gave her a reason to get up each morning, and her energy and smile came back. Studies from the Journal of Gerontology show that having a sense of purpose can lower your risk of depression and even add years to your life. Purpose doesn't have to be grand. It's about what makes you feel alive. My advice is to reflect on what you love, whether it's teaching, creating, or helping others. Try something new, like volunteering, mentoring, or picking up a hobby you've always wanted to explore. Set a small goal, like spending an hour a week on something meaningful. Purpose is like a compass. It keeps you moving forward with joy. I've seen these habits work wonders, not just for Clara, Robert, Susan, George, Diane, Patricia, but for so many others. They're not about being perfect. They're about showing up for yourself one step at a time. I remember a moment with Clara when she came back to my office after a year of small changes. She brought me a rose from her garden, her eyes shining with pride. She said she felt like she'd gotten her life back. That's what I want for you, a life where you feel strong, connected, and full of purpose. You don't have to do it all today. Pick one habit, maybe a short walk or a call to a friend, and start this week. As Dr. Maya Angelou said, when you know better, you do better. Here's my challenge. Choose one of these habits and give it a try. Maybe it's adding a veggie to your dinner or signing up for a local class. Drop a comment and tell me what you're starting. I'd love to hear your story. If this video touched you, give a thumbs up, share it with someone special, and subscribe to keep these talks going. You're not just building habits. You're crafting a life full of health, happiness, and meaning. Aging isn't about winding down. It's about living bigger, loving deeper, and shining brighter. Thanks for being here. It's a privilege to share this journey with you. Until next time, take care of your amazing self. Keep moving forward and live every day like it's a gift. Catch you soon.